coming to the top of the stretch of the Oaks, and here come Search Results. Search Results has taken the lead as they arrive at the 8th pole. Malathat runs at her from the outside. Back into third as Travel Column toward the rail. Will Secret is trying to mount a charge. Then comes Clariere to the outside. Malathat, Search Results, undefeated fillies. 1-2 down to the wire. Who's going to win it? It's Malathat by a neck. Search Results was second, and then came Will Secret and Clariere. The final time, 1:48.99. Him to go now as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Medina Spirit and Mandaloon are stride for stride. Hot Rod Charlie and Essential Quality closing on the outside. The four of them come into the final furlong. Mandaloon fighting for the front. Medina Spirit battles on. Hot Rod Charlie on the outside. Essential Quality on the far outside. The four of them coming to the finish in the Kentucky Derby. Here's the wire. Bob Baffert does it again. Medina Spirit has won the Kentucky Derby. Mandaloon was second. Hot Rod Charlie was third. Essential Quality was fourth. 2:01:02 the final time. Bob Baffert stands alone with 7 Derby wins.
And what a very good 2 races those were. Hi again everybody, Colin Ecclestone here for my Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks recap show. We're also handicapped the Preakness Stakes in this video, so don't miss that. First, we're going to go back to our recap to see how well our picks were. So on the Friday was the Kentucky Oaks, and no surprise, Malathat ended up winning over Search Results. And again, no surprise for Malathat, such a great horse for Todd Pletcher, and that horse was on top as we go back to the recap for our tiers. As you know, I like to do the Triple Crown into tiers to rank them from best to worst. So for tier 1, tier 2 are kind of the groups. I should have mentioned that in the last video, so kind of sorry for that, but at least you'd be prepared this time for the Preakness. But the tier 1 and the tier 2 horses are the horses that you should be considering to win the races, and the tier 1 horses for the Kentucky Oaks were the number 5, number 10, and the number 12. So that was Malathat and Search Results, finishing 1-2 in the exactor. Tier 2 was the 3, and then tier 3 was the 11. So if you would have boxed 3, 5, 10, 11, 12 in the exactor, trifecta, and superfecta, as you can see on the screen, you would have hit everything. I mean, it would have cost you a little bit for the exactor and trifecta, but the superfecta paid back well, as you can see on the screen. Dollar superfecta 10, 12, 11, 3 paid back $2,808.70. So that was a very good one if you had the budget to do so. I'm not saying that you should have boxed 5 horses if you're not really comfortable doing that, but in this case, if you would have done that, you would have hit it. So we had the winner, we had the exactor, we had the trifecta, and we had the superfecta. So we pretty much cleaned house on the Kentucky Oaks. And for the Kentucky Derby, if you go back to our tiers, tier 1 was the 17 and the 19. Tier 2 was 18, 14. Tier 3, 15, 11. Then tier 4, 1, 7, 9, 10, 11, 20 for the Kentucky Derby. So yes, we had the winner for the tier 2 as Medina Spirit ended up winning that race, absolutely shocking everyone, including myself, as Essential Quality did not run the best race of his life. And as I said before, I don't think that he was in a position to, not saying that he shouldn't have won that race, but in a position that he had to close from pretty much from mid-pack if he wanted to win, just like his last 2 races in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and in the last prep race at Keeneland. He closed and he just won narrowly. So I feel like he did that again for that same ride, and it definitely did not work out as he finished 4th. And he finished 4th, and again, I don't think that was his best race career lifetime, but he decided to skip the Preakness. Maybe he'll race in the Belmont, but I don't think so. So, we had the winner in the Kentucky Derby. We did not get the exactor as Mandaloon upset, paying $23, as you can see on the screen, $23 to place, $13.40 to show, so pretty much a long shot. And yeah, our other horses finished 4th, and so we just got the winner in that race. We were happy. One of our tier 1 or tier 2 horses, again, are the horses that you should be looking out to win. So we were very happy. A lot of people saying, oh, congratulations, Conley, and I very appreciate all your comments for those 2 days, as we had a fantastic day on both days. More of the Oaks, but we did manage to pick up those 2 winners for the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. So now moving on for the oh my god, not talk today. Moving on to the Preakness Stakes, which is the second jewel of the Triple Crown, going 1 mile and 3/16 on the dirt. And this time, again, I'll do my tiers, just for handicapping purposes. I'll just do the tiers so you know which horses to look out for, and horses so you don't miss out on your exotics. So for the Preakness, we're going to start off with tier number 1. I'm going to go a little bit faster this time. A lot of people are saying, why, your video was really long. Well, I kind of wanted to make it a little bit longer because I did have the Oaks and the Kentucky Derby, so that's why a little bit longer. So I'll try to make this the best I can shorter. So for the tier 1 horses in the Preakness are the 5 and the 10. So we're going to start off with number 5, which is Midnight Bourbon. Midnight Bourbon did not have the best trip last time in the Kentucky Derby. Had post 10, and it was 11th, 12th, 11th, and then pretty much moved up the 3/4, and then ended up finishing 6th by 1 1/4. Mike Smith was on him the last time, but now switches to Irad Ortiz Jr. Again, an aggressive rider for Midnight Bourbon, so maybe Steve Asmussen thinks that would help him. So key things to like about this horse should probably go to the front, as its last 3 races before that show. A couple other things, the workouts are okay, as you know that people might like to work their horses enough times so they're ready for this race. His last workout was May 10th, so that was 5 days ago. Was at Churchill Downs, 4 furlongs, 50 1/5 seconds, but it was finished 15th out of 22 horses that day. I would have liked to seen him at Pimlico working out, see how well he liked it, but that's okay. The work was decent for me. A couple things to know. He's going to have early speed, which should help him. Irad Ortiz Jr., probably one of the best jockeys in the world. Well, probably more than the United States, but maybe the world. But definitely the win percentage goes up. Irad Ortiz so far this year has 593 starts, 165 wins. That's 28% win percentage if you do the math. And yeah, so that's a positive. Trainer jockey combo, not too bad. 17 starts for 12% win percentage. The ROI is only 40 cents on the dollar, or on the $2. So that's not bad. But I think he's going to rebound today. I think he's in a position where Steve Asmussen has put him in a good spot to win today. And that's what I think. He has a very good shot to win today. Even though you might not think so, I think he has the good form. You can pretty much just cross off that last line. You can think that he's one of the very good contenders in this race. But yeah, so I think he's a tier 1 horse just because of the rider switch to Mike Smith to Irad Ortiz Jr. Works have been okay. If you cross off that last line, he's a very good horse. Very good speed figures. Last 5 were 90, 90, if you're going from the top to the bottom, 90, 96, 96, 93, 76. So he does have the figures to compete in this race. So he's a tier 1 horse for sure in this race. The next horse I'm liking as a tier 1 horse is not Medina Spirit, is flipping down to the 10, which is Concert Tour, 5-2 on the morning line. This is where Mike Smith is going to get his ride here today for Bob Bafford. Bob Bafford for Medina Spirit had the controversy of coming into this race, but I won't really get into politics, if you really want to call it that, just because it's not my issue to really talk about. It's just that it was kind of an unfortunate thing that Bob Bafford got himself into, and it's kind of horrible thing to be like, well, Medina Spirit does deserve an into, and there's two sides to it, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to talk about the race. So, Bob Baffert does have this horse Concertua in this race for Mike Smith. The positives in this race: this horse has excellent form. Last 4 races were 3 winner, winner, winner. But Joel Rosario was on those last 4, and he hasn't raced since April 10th. But the positives are good form, workouts have been okay. Bob Baffert tries his very best to get all of his horses into the best race that they can. And also, if you're looking at the daily racing form past performances, which I'm looking at, the trainer stats for Bob Baffert: 31 to 60 days, 32% winners; dirt, 32% winners; routes, 32% winners; grade stakes, 30% winners. So that's very good to note. Mike Smith and Bob Baffert teaming up for this mount. For the jockey trainer combination so far: 44 starts, 30% winners for $1.27 return on the ROI. That's pretty good. So he's really hoping that you get a fast surface, as his dirt fast record has been very good. He has not raced anything besides fast track. So I think Concertua is in a position to win, because the outside post is okay, but as you know, that he's been getting in the outside post in a lot of his races: 5 out of 6, 7 out of 8, 5 out of 5, 3 out of 5. He's been towards the outside, and he's been manageable enough to win this race. So that's why I put him at the tier 1, because yes, he's been on the outside. Might be a disadvantage for some people, but I think he can win. I think he can do it. So Concertua is going to be one of my tier 1 horses for handicapping. And so 5 and the 10 for tier number 1. Tier number 2, we're going to start up at the top with number 3, Medina Spirit. Again, I'm not going to talk about why this horse should be in here, why he shouldn't be in. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about the race. So going in post position order, starting off number 3, which is Medina Spirit, 9 to 5 morning line. The horse who won the Kentucky Derby pretty much shocked everybody, because Essential Quality was supposed to win this race. I knew Essential Quality would have a little bit of trouble going into the Kentucky Derby, not because his form's off, just because he's one of those horses that needs to close all the way from the back and get the right amount of pace to work with him, and it didn't work out for him. So Medina Spirit ended up winning, had a very good trip on the rail, and ended up winning by half a length. So he almost lost the Mandaloon, but it was pretty much a game effort here for Medina Spirit, as I almost shocked Bob Baffert, as he thought that this horse was in a good spot, but not enough to beat Essential Quality. But he won, so now he's now the leader, pretty sure, for 7 career Kentucky Derbies now. And that's an all-time record, so congratulations to Bob Baffert and the whole team at Zenden Racing for Medina Spirit victory in the Kentucky Derby. Medina Spirit, you can't argue with the form, of course. It's never finished worse than 3rd. He's finished 1st and 2nd his whole life, so that's a positive. Another positive, it's a Beyer top. He just finished that in the Kentucky Derby with a 102 Beyer speed figure. Not sure what past performances you're looking at, but maybe for Bristnet or Equibase or Timeform US might be a Beyer top for Medina Spirit. But for the daily racing form, yes, that was in that last race was a Beyer top for Medina Spirit. Other positives to look for: workouts have been okay. That Bob Baffert, again, the trainer stats: 1 last start, 37%; dirt, 32%; routes, 32%; grade stakes, 30%. Working with Johnny Velasquez this year, 28 starts, 46% winners for a very good $2 ROI investment of $3.71. And so that's the positives. A couple things I'm still kind of iffy about. That's the reason why that I didn't put him as tier number 1, is that there should be a fast pace in this race. I'm not the best for pace scenarios, but I know that Medina Spirit either needs the front, or he either needs a pace that weakens, and then he can go up on the outside and end up winning this race. So for the Timeform US pace figures, his early figure is 123, which is pretty high. So I think that Medina Spirit needs a front-running effort if, excuse me, if John Velasquez is going to put him up on the front, or he needs kind of like a spot a little bit behind, like third or fourth, and then try to veer out and do pretty much what he did, because he was a front runner the whole time in his last race. But again, I think Medina Spirit's going to get rushed because that's what everybody else does. You win the Derby, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to stop this horse from winning the Preakness, so, or the Belmont if you're going to win that race as well. But Medina Spirit is definitely going to get pressured in this race. I know that for sure. Well, everybody would know that. I'm not the only one. But Medina Spirit in this race is definitely going to get pressured, and I really hope that he can get a good trip, but that's why I put him to tier number 2, because I know there's going to be a fast pace, and not sure how well he's going to recover off of that. So that's the only negative I really have about Medina Spirit. But yeah, another great horse. I really hope that you can win the Preakness and the Belmont to win the Triple Crown. But right now, he's a tier 2 horse for me. Moving on to the next horse, again in post-position order, not in order of liking, is the number 4, which is Crowded Trade for trainer Chad Brown and Javier Castellano. First time for Javier Castellano to get on him. Crowded Trade is coming out of the Wood Memorial, where Bourbonic, I can't believe each time I watch that race. It's always hilarious to hear the track announcer. I completely forget his name. I know what his name is. It's in the back of my head. I don't remember what his name is. But the track announcer there at Naira, just his voice saying Bourbonic, and end up winning for Kendrick Carmouche. But that race always brings me joy. I don't know why. But that race is always exciting. But for Crowded Trade, he was coming out of the Webb Memorial, and that was not his best race lifetime. Yes, he's only had 3 career starts, but the races before that were better than the last start, of course. Key things to note about figures, okay. I mean, that Gotham, the 95, is good for this group. Current form is excellent. Workouts have been okay. Last 2 have been better than the other ones. The trainer stats for Chad Brown: iffy 23, 31 to 60 days, dirt 25, routes 25, graded stakes 19. That's a decent positive. You always want trainer stats or any stats to go over 20% or higher. That's kind of like my limit. So decent trainer stats there for Chad Brown. Jockey trainer combination for Javier Castellano and Chad Brown have been 187 starts this year, 24% winners, and $1.55 return on investment. So the reason why this horse is a tier 2 is because he doesn't have as much starts as other horses in this race. And I can't really figure out where he's going to be in this race. I feel like it's going to be mid-pack. It's just an estimate. But that's the negatives that you would say for this horse, is that he's only had really 3 career lifetime starts, even though other horses have had a little bit more, like 5. So that's kind of a negative. And then the other negative is to not to know where this horse would be in this race. Because if I know where the horse is going to be in this race, which I don't, I would, of course, think differently of where I would rank him. But as of right now, I know that's Chad Brown trying to shoot for an upset in this race, so that's why I put him at tier 2. And also I know that Javier Castellano and Chad Brown have worked well in the past, and also works have been okay, but I'm really concerned of where this horse is going to be in this race. But according to my handicapping of what I look at for stamina, power, speed, early pace, and late pace, he fits in as a tier 2 horse. Final tier 2 horse we're going to talk about is, we're going to go quickly with the other tiers. There's only one more tier left, which is tier number 3. Is number 9, which is risk taking 15-1 in morning line for, again, Chad Brown. Jose Ortiz gets the mount for the first time here. And this is another horse who is exiting off the Wood Memorial, which is the favorite, but beaten 7th by 6 3/4 lengths. So not the best start that Chad Brown had. Never responded anywhere in the race. 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 7th. Nowhere to be seen, or, well, nowhere to be seen, but not in contention enough to win this race. The The reason why I put this horse for second is because the workouts have been solid, but also because some of the other things look for handicapping put him at this spot to win. Chad Brown has had good stats with this horse, especially for the second off the 45 to 180 day layoff. 112 starts for 29% winners for $1.78 return on investment. So that's a pretty good stat. And also the jockey and trainer combination for Jose Ortiz and Chad Brown. 104 starts this year, 26% winners, and $1.74 return on investment. This is the reason why this horse is in a tier 2 is because his figures match up almost. He's like on the borderline of matching up to where these horses should be. Believe there's no, there is a buyer par 103. My mistake. I didn't actually see that when I was handicapping, but pretty close to being kind of where everybody averages their average speed figure in this race. But risk taking is a tier 2 because I always think that a good trainer and jockey combination is always the best in stakes races, and also it always works out pretty much every time. It's not like it's a foolproof system. It's just that for stakes races you think, oh, I should have taken this horse, and you realize, well, it was a Chad Brown and Jose Ortiz, or Chad Brown and Javier Castellano, or Bob Baffert, Mike Smith combination. You'd be like, oh, well, I should have taken him because of that combination. So that's the reason why I think that Chad Brown, 2 horses in here, the 4 and the 9, have a very good shot in this race, and the jockeys have worked well with him. So risk taking, definitely a long shot in this race for a tier 2 horse. So we'll see how well both of his horses do in tomorrow. And finally, the tier, I only have one more tier left. Throwouts for this race are the 1, the 7, and the 8. We're not going to go into detail for those. But yeah, so the last tier, which is tier number 3, which is the number 2 and the number 6. Number 2, Keep Me in Mind for Robertino Diodoro and jockey David Cohen. As you know, Robertino Diodoro does very well at Oaklawn, but this is Pimlico, so this would be a new game for him. But you can't argue with the success that he's been having in the last couple years. Coming into this race, he has 329 starts. I know that's probably not even the right record because they published it a little bit day before, and that might not be the official record. But according to the printed one that I have in front of me, 329 starts, 88%. Sorry, 329 starts, 88 winners for 27% winners. So definitely a very good trainer. But we're going to talk about the horse this time instead of the trainer. Keep Me in Mind in the last race for the Kentucky Derby actually didn't do too bad. And what I mean by not too bad is that he closed well, and he almost could have finished 6th or 5th in my mind. But in that race, he was 19th, so pretty much second from last, 19th, 19th, then 13th, 11th, and then he finished 7th. At 49 to 1. So pretty much a dead game closer is what this horse is going to be in this race. According to Timeform with 116 late figure. Positives to know about this race is that the workouts have been very good, especially the April 23rd one. First out of 108 horses going 4 furlongs and 46 and 1/5 second. The trainer jockey combination has worked well. I believe this horse is in a spot to close from well, but the negatives are there's not enough good races to really think that where this horse is going to be in this race. I know that he might be in the back, but I'm not really 100% sure. So that's a negative for me. And also the other negative is that he's only raced at this distance once, according to Daily Racing Form, and he's earned a 90 speed figure on that day. I'm not sure why they think that, but last race was 1.25 miles, and today's 1.316 miles, so I'm not sure about that. I'm not the best with distances, so maybe they thought that was pretty close to 1.316 miles or something, but yeah, he's only raced once. I guess that'd be the negative. is that his form is not the greatest. I mean, if you're taking off the last 3 races, I mean, just slice those in half, and you would have taken out, would have taken those 3 out, and you would have taken a lift with those left 4 horse. What am I saying? Cannot talk today. If you had taken out those last 3 races run for him, and you would have left those last 4 races for keep in mind, yeah, he would have been a very good horse to be in this race, especially for finishing in the money in a grade 2s and grade 1s. But as of right now, his form is pretty much going backwards, and I'm not sure how well David Cohen's going to keep me in mind for the whole trip for this Preakness. So that's why I put him at tier number 3s, because yeah, his trainer is very good, and Robertino Diodoro, but at the same time, I don't know where this horse is going to be. Definitely, according to time form, very in the late stages. But as of right now, I can't plot him to be anywhere in my liking for tier 2 or tier 1. So that's why I like keep me in mind because of the trainer and because of the workouts and how well David Cohen and Diodoro have been working out in the past. But as of right now, I can't really see it. So I'm going to keep him in there because of the trainer and jockey combination and because his figures are okay. But as of right now, he can't move anywhere else besides tier 3. And finally, the final horse in for the tier number 3, which is number 6, which is Rom Bauer. Like Bauer, like the hockey Bauer, I guess. Rom Bauer. Sorry if Michael McCarthy is watching this video. Highly doubt it. But if Michael McCarthy is watching this video, I probably just butchered your horse's name. But Ron Bauer in this race gets Flavian Pratt aboard. And another jockey who's actually been the first mount on a horse for today. Couple positives, you should say. I mean, people are like, why'd you rate him as a tier 3 if there's no positives? Well, Ron Bauer, I feel like this horse, I can actually project that this horse will definitely be in the late stages for sure. So that's a positive to try to close and beat everybody. Another positive is to say that this workouts have been okay, like actually pretty good actually. And that's the best I can really say about this horse. He's a long shot horse, that's why I put him as a tier 3. Just because of the stamina, power, speed, early pace, and late pace. For the 6, I think he ranks 5th in early pace. I don't know why. Yeah, no, he ranks 5th for early pace, and that's it. I really thought he would be on other ones, so sorry for blanking there for a second, but yeah, he only ranks 5th for early pace. That's it, I guess, for my stats that I look at. But the negatives would be that I feel like he might be too far back and trying to close just like essential quality, as he was not too far back but enough to be like, well, you're not even in 2nd or 1st, which he does like, and trying to close. But Ron Bauer, I just put him in here for being a long shot contender to go underneath my trifectas or superfectas. So that's all I can say about him. So tier number 3 recap for number 2 and number 6. So to recap, my tier number 1 horses are the 5 and the 10. Tier number 2 horses are number 3, 4, and 9. And tier number 3 horses are 2 and the 6. Throwouts for this race would be the 1, the 7, and the 8. So that does it for my Preakness rant. Well, not a Preakness rant, not like Micah Bazzola, but my Preakness preview. Hopefully you have your picks sorted out, and hopefully I kind of helped you. I'm not the best at really talking for a long period of time, but I do try my best, as I did last week, as it worked out well for us. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it works out great for everybody who's watching this video, and hopefully between Medina Spirit, Crowded Trade, Midnight Bourbon, as well as Risk Taking or Contour, any of those horses are my win contenders for this race. So if you're in a handicap with those 5 horses, those are probably the horses that you should be looking at for sure for my tier number 1 and tier number 2 horses. So thank you very much for watching my video. It's so far 28 minutes, so that's pretty good. Just under half an hour, which I thought it would be. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below to who you have for the Preakness, as I know this is going to be a very good race to watch. And hopefully it does not rain, as the last couple years of Preakness has not been the best weather, pretty much for the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks too, as well as the Preakness had not been the best weather. The Belmont's always been the best weather. I don't know why, but I think they always plan on the best weekend because in June it's always really sunny. And yeah, but anyways, I really hope for fast track for all these horses, and I wish everybody the best of luck for whoever you have here in the Preakness, as I will have a Preakness recap coming up when the Belmont starts. And if you're wondering what my Black-Eyed Susan picks are for this race, I'll give them to you. I'm not going to go in depth, but I do have them done. So tier number 1, of course, the Bob Baffert horse, which is Beautiful Gift. For tier number 1, tier number 2 is horses 2, 8, and 9. Tier number 3, 3, 5, and 7, and tier number 4 is the 1. So, not sure how well you can see this. That's going to make it really dark, but, yeah. Yeah, so just to recap for the Black-Eyed Susan, if you're going to follow that, it's coming up today. Tier number 1, number 10, tier number 2, 2, 8, 9, tier number 3, 3, 5, and 7, tier number 4 is the 1. So, those are my quick Black-Eyed Susan picks, but those are more of my in-depth Preakness picks. So, once again, thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below who you like for the Preakness, and again, I will have a recap for the Preakness once the Belmont comes up. So, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Good luck.